address the boys and the girls, and I've got something in the pocket that I'll bring out in a little moment. I meant to have a picture here of a particular bird, but I'll tell you the name of the bird in a moment. I want us to travel in our minds to the city of Warsaw. That's in Poland. And I want us to think of the 1700s. Because in Poland at that time, there was a man called Dubry. And Dubry was married, his wife and his children, but he was very poor. And he was so poor that the landlord of the house that he was living in was going to put him out of his house. And he pleaded with the landlord 3 times because he was in rent arrears. Look, give me time. I'll try to get some more work, and I'll try to pay the bill. I'll get it sorted. But this man refused. And the day was drawing very near when he had said to Dubry and his wife, it's in the dead of winter, you're being evicted from your house, and you've got to leave. And he was very, very fearful. Now, Dubry was a Christian. He believed in God. And he believed in God's word. And that particular day, this is what he read from God's word. The particular morning when he was to be evicted. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Well, you know what Dubry did? Him and his wife, they got down on their knees, and he prayed, Lord, I'm in trouble. Lord, I need help. I don't know how you're going to get me out of it, Lord, but I'm about to be evicted from my house. My wife and children are thrown out into the cold. What are we going to do, Lord? And all of a sudden, as he finished praying, it wasn't a knock at the door. It was a pecking at the door. And when they opened the door, he thought it was the man to evict him. But guess what it was, boys and girls? I'm going to tell you, it was a particular bird. And its colour was black. And it's mentioned in the Bible. And it starts with R. It's called a raven. And I meant to phone Mark and get a raven to come here to church this morning. But of course I forgot. So I'm sorry. But you know what the raven had in its beak? It had something very special. It had a ring, like this ring. Very, very expensive. Gold ring with diamonds and stones in it. And Dubry's wife says, oh, great. Let's sell the ring. Let's get lots of money, pay off our debt, and we can live very happily. And Dubry said, no, wife. I'd rather be a poor man than a thief. That ring belongs to someone. The raven has taken the ring from someone's table and brought it to our door. But God, I believe, has sent the raven. Now, what Dubry did was he went to see his minister. He told the minister what had happened. What am I going to do? The minister says, I know whose ring that is. That's the king's ring. King Stanislaus of Poland's ring. Ended up, Dubry stood before the king and told the king the story, what had happened, how the ring had come into his possession by the raven. And the king, of course, rewarded Dubry because he gave him a large sum of money. He said, I want to thank you. You didn't keep my ring. You didn't try to sell it. I want to thank you for bringing my ring back. And he gave him a large sum of money to pay off his arrears. But there's more to the story. In the summer of that year, the king's men turned up at Dubry's house and told him, we've got a brand new house for you in Warsaw. And if we were to go to Warsaw today, I have never been to Warsaw, but if you ever go to Warsaw, you'll find a plaque above a particular door in a particular house. It's a metal plaque, and it tells you this story that King Stanislaus gave this house to Dubry, who was a poor man, because Dubry returned his ring. Now, there's a real moral to this story, many applications, but here's one of them. God says, and call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will answer thee, and thou shalt glorify me. When you're in trouble, let's learn to call on the Lord and stand on the promises.